What is up, people? Hope everyone's having a great day. I just got back from my run, feeling pretty good, and I just thought of a topic that I wanted to discuss. This weekend was the LA Marathon, obviously here in Los Angeles. Definitely not as big as the New York City Marathon or many other major marathons, but I will say it has grown in size, in participants, prestige, all of that. So, story Frank McCourt, who used to own the Dodgers, has since sold them, purchased the LA Marathon. I want to say 2010. I ran the 2009 LA Marathon. I also ran the 2010 LA Marathon, and they were completely different races, changed the course. So I believe that's when the change happened. This weekend was the LA Marathon, and there was some interesting stories to come out of it. We had an American win the race, the men's race, for the second straight year. The American who won the men's race this year won in dramatic, incredible fashion. Chased down the leading runner who was a Kenyan runner. You know how they've been dominating the marathon races. Kenyan runner was cruising on his way to victory, and the American runner just did not give up. Did not give up. Chased him down. It was pretty much a photo finish. The American runner crossed the finish first, broke the tape, and the Kenyan runner proceeded to do a face plant at the end. I think he's fine. Don't want to see anyone get injured, but it was just an incredible race and an incredible finish. So that just helps boost the LA Marathon for future years. Now, my background is I already mentioned I ran the LA Marathon in back-to-back years back in 2009, 2010. My last time running the LA Marathon was in 2014, and that year I qualified for the Boston Marathon. For um, runners out there, they know the significance of that. I'm not an elite runner, never have been, never will be an elite runner. But for the everyday type of runner, qualifying for Boston is a goal. We qualified for Boston back in 2014, ran Boston in 2015. Overall, I probably ran anywhere between about 10 marathons. I can't remember the exact number. And the reason why I explain my background is because I expect that, some people, runners specifically, will have strong feelings about this topic. If a certain sect of runners do see this and feel the need to comment, um, just know that I'm a runner too. This is my opinion, and I'm not going to apologize for my opinion on this. Without further ado, here is the controversy. This year's LA Marathon, it was in the mid 80s. Um, Mid 80s for someone running 26.2 miles, that's pretty hot. Like, if you're running that for the full race, it's going to take a lot out of you. It's brutal. Here's the point. The point is, there were, I read a stat, 41% of the runners running the LA Marathon this year were first time marathoners. Not just first time running the LA Marathon, um, identified as first time marathoners. This is a race that attracts a lot of first time runners. So the actual controversy is, because of the weather conditions, and probably because of so many first time marathon runners, uh, the race director, the organization of the LA Marathon, decided to make a change this year, probably just for this year only. They gave the runners an out. If a runner at mile 18 decided they could not continue, they provided an exit of the course, and also said that these runners who exited at mile 18 can also collect a finisher's medal. I've read posts from the elite runners, Kara Goucher, who commented on this, on someone's post criticizing the LA Marathon. Her take is, it's good, protect the runners, the weather conditions being what they were, there could possibly be many casualties, and this is a way to prevent those casualties with those weather conditions, especially with so many first-time runners in the race. Many marathon runners were very, very critical of the LA Marathon. To me, I understand why they did it, but at the same time, if you're critical of the LA Marathon for this decision, I'm cool with being critical of the LA Marathon, if anything, because they're the ones who made this decision. What I do have a problem with are people being critical of the runners who basically read the rules. This was something that was offered to them, and they decided to go ahead with it. Finish at mile 18, collect their medal. Listen, they are not cheaters. In my opinion, I know some people call them quitters. I think in this case, quitter is harsh. The way I look at it, either a lot of these people who took this opt-out, many of them might be first-time marathon runners who, realize at this point, listen, I train for the distance. You could train for a 26.2 mile distance. You could train to finish. It's quite another thing to deal with the weather conditions, to be climatized, to handle that type of heat. I'm sure many runners who reached that point got a very rude awakening. The point is, if this saved the LA Marathon from having heat casualties, then kudos. If this led to some runners deciding to make the smart decision, and get off the course instead of pushing themselves further than they need to, and possibly falling victim of a heat casualty, heat exhaustion, heat stroke, still winding up in the hospital after a race like this could cause a lot of long-term effects and stuff like that. Like, no one wants that. It's just a huge risk. Now, runners who are experienced runners, who know how to properly handle the heat, who have a proper hydration plan, who have properly prepared for this, they may feel like this is a non-issue. And I was one of those runners, I'll be honest, right? For them, that's cool, You finish the race, you get your medal, awesome. Many of these same runners, they have a problem, mainly because these other runners get to collect the medal. What I have to say with that is, it's just a medal. And I know a lot of people are going to feel offended by me saying this. It's just a medal. But it is. I said this on a Threads post, and I'll say it again. These medals, they have to have at least one medal for everyone who starts the race, right? To make sure that everyone gets a medal. The point is, there's plenty of medals. What is going to happen to these medals? Are they going to make it to a landfill? Are they gonna make it to some online auction? What's gonna happen to them? Who knows? Now, even though these runners who exited mile 18, um, they didn't finish the full 26.2. In my opinion, they still participated in the race, right? They still had the experience, they get the medal. Now, someone might say, well, this is the definition of a participation trophy. Okay. Now, if you want to view it like that, I may have an even more unpopular opinion. And that is this: everyone who finishes a marathon and gets the medal, guess what? You're receiving a participation trophy, right? It's a finisher's medal. You didn't win the race. Let's be honest. You didn't win the race. You're not an elite runner. You didn't even place, right? So, talking about a participation trophy, I mean, that's essentially what everyone is getting. But everyone has accepted, okay, you finished the distance, it's an accomplishment. Everyone gets a finisher's medal. And while you might think that just exiting at 18 miles is less of an accomplishment, let's say it's less of an accomplishment, it's still an accomplishment. Let these people keep their medal. If you finish the full 26.2 mile race, you have that experience. You have that accomplishment. No one's taken away that accomplishment. Whether you got a personal best on the race, whether you qualify for the Boston Marathon or any other race, whether you didn't get a personal record, but you just proud that you finished this race in those weather conditions. There's something special about this particular race. The memories associated with the race and the experience, that's what makes that medal special. Someone else having that medal who you may feel did not accomplish what you accomplished, that does not diminish your accomplishment. Honestly, I have so many medals that are in a box somewhere. And there are a handful of medals that I hold with special significance. Honestly, the rest of them I hardly think about. So the medals that I think about, my first race, which was half marathon, the Surf City half marathon, that's a special medal to me. My first marathon, my first LA marathon, which was also my first marathon, that's a special medal to me. I think probably the Philadelphia Marathon, which was my first medal on the East Coast, and my wife's from Philly, so that holds a special place. The LA Marathon medal where I qualified for Boston, and then obviously the Boston Marathon medal, because that was the goal I was working for, right? To qualify for Boston, and then I ran the race. That holds some significance. Maybe you are the type of runner that you're a collector. You collect and display every single medal you get. To you, they're all significant. Great. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but what I am saying is someone else having that medal does not diminish your accomplishment. That's all I'm saying. All right, one more thing. These people who are complaining about, getting off the course at mile 18 at Uremeno, it probably would be the same people who complained about the run walkers when that became a thing. By the way, rest in peace to Jeff Galloway, who was an elite marathoner in his own time. He invented the walk-run method, which in my opinion, really helped boost the popularity of marathons. It made it to where many people felt like it wasn't as intimidating anymore. They could utilize this walk run method to complete their first marathon and then build towards being able to run a full marathon eventually. Some people never build towards that. Some people were perfectly fine doing the run walk method, which I'm completely fine with too. Literally everyone runs their own race, right? But I can't help to find like the outrage about this. It feels the same. It's like, just let everyone run their own race. Let everyone do their thing. Worry about yourself. Once again, just worry about yourself.